Welcome to Utah Stories Show, everybody. On a very exciting program today, we are talking to one of the biggest restaurant groups in Utah. They have 6 total restaurants in Utah, including Sapa, which is pretty much the best sushi restaurant in all of downtown Salt Lake, Purgatory, which is this amazing bar, the Fat Fishes, which are in Bountiful and West Valley. We're talking about the collision between PPP funding and the CARES Act. They're basically canceling each other out with kindness. The problem is the people getting money from the CARES Act, which is up to $600 more than unemployment benefits, is causing people to earn like $25 per hour, whereas if they go back to work, they are likely going to earn less than that. And PPP funding is attached to people coming back to work. Otherwise, it's just a loan. It's a completely forgivable loan if restaurant owners especially can get their employees to come back to work. But if they don't come back to work, all these restaurant owners are basically going to have to pay back all of this money. It's a very, very difficult position a lot of restaurant owners are in. And so we're talking to a leader in the industry in Utah. So you're not going to want to miss this interview if you are interested in Utah restaurants in general, especially local, high-end, excellent restaurants. So that is coming right up. Before that interview, I want to tell you about Canyon Meadows pasture-raised beef. If you have not tried pasture-raised beef yet, you absolutely got to give them a shot because it is seriously almost a different product entirely than the beef you buy in the supermarket. It's higher in the good cholesterol, the cholesterol that's actually good for your body. It's higher in the nutrients in beef, which are beneficial, and it's lower in the bad cholesterol. This is because the cows spend their entire lives eating lush, rich grass like they're supposed to. They're not fattened up with using corn. And Canyon Meadows is really the best grass-fed beef I've ever tried in Utah. I'm completely hooked on it. And if you follow us on Instagram, check us out. You're going to see we often smoke their meat. We cook their giant steaks and T-bones. I'm a huge fan of this product. And right now they're offering a special offer for Utah Stories Show listeners. So go check them out right now at cmrbeef.com. They are good for the earth, good for you, and they have delicious flavor. Again, that's cmrbeef.com. Okay, so without further ado, this is my interview with Hoang Nguyen. And so what I understand is like the government generosity is actually kind of backfiring in getting people to come back to work. Is that describe it pretty well?
Yeah. So with the federal stimulus package right now, anyone who is on unemployment, anyone, no matter how much or how little you're receiving on unemployment, you get an additional $600 per week from now to the end of July. Actually, it was started back in March is when they started dispersing that. So some people are making over $4,000 a month. Some people are making $2,000. So it's kind of hard right now to get some staff back to work because they're actually making part of their money on unemployment right now.
So has that made it impossible for you guys to open up?
It's made it definitely more difficult. Right now, since the beginning, we were committed to try and keep on as many core staff as we could to operate our businesses. And so those people were never on any unemployment, so we've been able to still employ them. It's the ones who've been off who now are receiving these additional money from the federal government that at this point they don't want to return quite yet.
You guys have 5 restaurants, is that correct? 6
restaurants and then 2 bakery locations.
Wow, and is it some of the restaurants in particular that have been much harder to keep people on, or is it just the ones where
it's the same across the board right now? It's not necessarily to keep them on, but just to get some of them to return back to work.
Yeah.
The ones who've been working are just fine with it, but some of them are kind of refusing to return to work right now.
The other problem I've heard about with the PPP is the 6-week restriction where you have to use all the money in 6 weeks.
It's 8 weeks, and it starts from the time that the loan is distributed to you. And so for some people, the money was given to us, back in March already. Not March, I'm sorry, in April. So the clock starts ticking once you get those funds dispersed to you. And you have to spend, to get it forgiven, you have to spend up to 75% of the amount of the loan on payroll. And that's kind of a catch-22 right now, where, sure, we'd love to be able to get as many people back and bring it back to 75% of what our payroll was. But one, we can't get people back. And two, it's with the Salt Lake County Health Department guidelines that they have in place in order to reopen, where it's 50% capacity, you can only get 50% capacity. You have to social distance so much and do all of these precautions, which are necessary to keep people safe. It's just hard to even open business and stay financially feasible under all those restrictions right now. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, and so how could you possibly bring everyone back is the question.
Exactly. How can you possibly bring everyone back, and how can you possibly make money at this point where people are so iffy to even open? I'm on a text chat with 20 other different restaurant owners and bar owners in the Valley, and we just did a poll on who's going to be opening before June 1st. And the majority of them responded, I would say over 70% of the people on that text said they're not opening anytime before June 1st right now. Even though a lot of them have received their PP funds, they're just having to say, you know what, we're going to have to take this as a loan rather than trying to bank on that forgiveness, because we can't meet that threshold right now. We don't have the community confidence out there, consumer confidence, to even walk into restaurants or bars right now. So to open up again, to restock our entire restaurant, to get the staff back, and they'll only be 50% operational. But a lot of restaurants, especially the smaller restaurants that don't have that big of a footprint, the numbers just don't add up. So some of them are choosing not to even open past, once June. At this point, some of them don't even know when they're going to be opening.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because it doesn't pencil out working under those restrictive guidelines the health department put out to even be profitable.
Yeah, and I started to see restaurants in downtown Salt Lake that were opening that have patio dining, and that seems like if you had a huge patio, that would be a way to sort of mitigate the risk. But are you guys still not opening you still don't see it feasible to open your patios?
Our Bountiful location, that Fish in Bountiful, has opened. It's been open for the past week, and it's doing okay. Purgatory will be opening later this week. Sapa will most likely open by next week. So we're kind of phasing it out right now to kind of see how it goes. Our locations in West Valley are going to hold off for a couple more weeks just to make sure it's a little bit more safe, since we're in the area on the west side that they're trying, the health department is trying to get more testing done out there.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Okay. So you're just kind of rolling it out and seeing how it goes as you try to work through all the restrictions.
Yeah. The other thing that I know about other small business owners who did qualify for the PPP, what they're trying to do is they're trying to lobby the senators and congressmen in Utah to extend that period from an 8-week period to a 16-week period, to give them a better chance of being able to hit that 75% threshold, because it really is impossible to go for the loan forgiveness in the time frame that they gave us, since a lot of them can't even realistically open safely quite yet.
Yeah, and I don't see if so many people are staying home because of all the money they can make, and you have to restaff and retrain so many people, how could you even offer the same dining experience that your customers are used to? I mean, it's just another challenge.
It's definitely a new reality for all of us. The restaurants, every restaurant, listen to all of these other restaurant owners, we got into this because we want to give a great experience, right? We want to give great food, great experience. When people go out, they want to go. It's a luxury for some people to go dine at places, and so under all of these guidelines, it really takes away that whole purpose sometimes of what people are trying to achieve when they go out to have a nice dining experience.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
Stockholm's fortunate where we do have that big patio outside, which we are fully intending on using, so we can maximize how many people we can get in, but keeping them safely, 6 to 10 feet apart from each other. But at the same time, we are going to require customers to have masks when they walk through the door. All of our staff is going to have masks when they walk through the door. And people are going to be wearing gloves, and we have dedicated people to sanitizing constantly. It's just really, there's going to be so many visual cues that, you're not going to be able to have the same dining experience that you did before. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys had dinner out on that patio before.
Yeah, it's amazing experience. It's just it's one of our favorite places to go in all of downtown. And
now imagine everyone's wearing gloves, everyone's wearing masks. You can't, your servers are going to stand at least 6 feet away from you to take your order. We, one of the things we're implementing is QR codes for our menus. So at every table, stuck onto the table, is a QR code that the customers can go ahead and just scan that to see the menu, rather than us handing them actual menus.
Oh, that's smart.
It's gonna be a very different experience once we're up and running again. What have you heard, Rich, as far as what other restaurant or bar owners are doing?
So, kind of similar to your situation, the Green Pig owner, her name's Bridget Gordon. I spoke to her about a month ago, and she said it really wouldn't make sense for her to try to open fully until June or even mid-June. And even then, she doesn't know what it's going to look like, because she sells, she makes her profit and her margin on alcohol sales. And then I talked to Eddie Johansson of Yoshi's. It's probably in the same category as Fat Fish, and he just was trying to do curbside and finding it really difficult. But that's where he was able to, with his main location, that's where he was able to actually get enough community support and locals who just really wanted to support his business, where he was doing pretty well. But curbside for sushi, is that just something that you guys didn't want to consider?
No, we've done that. We haven't.
Oh, you have been doing it. Oh,
Sapa
great.
did it, but they had to close down. Sapa they took this opportunity to do some remodeling and expansion in the kitchen to reorganize it, since they've been so busy for the last 10 years. They haven't had a chance to do it. So she did do curbside here and there for a little bit, but she had to close down the last couple of weeks to finish the remodel. But they are doing curbside again until they open up fully, I think, next week sometime. Our Fat Fish in Bountiful, Fat Fish in West Valley has been doing takeout the whole time, curbside takeout, and it's been going relatively well. People,
that's good.
Especially once they had their tax refund and their stimulus, the $1,200 a person, it kind of bumped up sales a little bit. But we're going to have to see, as this whole pandemic wears on, we're already falling into a deep recession. People are a little bit comfortable right now, but over the next 8 weeks, it really will prove to see that we're really in a recession, that people are going to run out of money. I'm hearing that people are starting to live on their savings right now. Some have burned through their stimulus money, all of that. So by June, July, August, if people don't get back to work, we're really going to be in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Not only just the restaurant, the service industry, but just the general population here that, hopefully they will find work once they come back. Because I'm hearing a lot of people who, even though they filed for unemployment, they filed under the auspice that they will have their job once the pandemic, stabilizes. That was what was reported about 2 months ago, but now I'm hearing a lot of reports that these jobs are no longer going to be there once people return because companies just can't be hired at the rate that they had before.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. It's gonna be a month to 2 months before we really know, because all the government money is gonna dry out. I don't think they can keep just printing more money.
Exactly, and the government did do a lot to try to really inject as much money as quickly as they can. Hence the messy rollout of all of these stimulus things. They didn't think it through well enough.
No.
Where they wanted to just get money into people's hands right away. But the bigger problem that our whole nation's going to have to deal with, the whole world's going to have to deal with, is this deep recession that we're going to be in once we come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's already happening, where you see all of these huge companies filing bankruptcy. It's been around for years and years because it's just, I don't know. We thought, and a lot of business owners thought, that this is essentially just hitting pause, right, on our business. That we can hit pause for a couple months and then we can resume back to how it was back in February. But it's proving to be a lot more challenging than just, opening your doors again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole new world. And let's hope we can all deal with what it becomes. Because if local restaurants aren't around, I mean, look at all the secondary businesses, farms, magazines like mine, printing shops. There's just so much that'll be lost if we just lose so many local restaurants.
It seems like there's almost no industry that has not been touched by this whole pandemic.
Yeah.
I have yet to see any company that says, oh, they're still profitable or they're doing much better than they were before the pandemic.
Very few.
Things will bear out in the next 2 months. Honestly, I think by mid to end of summer, we'll really see kind of the true state of where we are economically.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for talking to me, Hoang. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Okay. So you basically can see from what Nguyen said about the problem is anytime the federal government does a massive, massive rollout that's going to apply to all 50 states, all places, in all conditions, and then other entities get involved, because the SBA is basically doing the PPP program. The CARES Act, I believe, is through Congress. They weren't communicating. They weren't talking to each other. They didn't understand how basically they were canceling each other out. And so this has put local restaurants in probably a much more difficult position had they not done anything at all. If people knew their only option was to just go back to work, of course they're going to just go back to work. They're not going to just be staying home and getting unemployment benefits. So we will continue to talk to restaurant owners and bar owners in the coming weeks. We're going to talk to at least one a week. We want to stay on top of this issue because, as you probably know, or maybe you don't know, Utah Stories Magazine has been around for 10 years. We completely rely on the local restaurants and bars to be able to print our magazine. We present the voice of local Utah, and we basically want to promote the idea that if we all choose to shift our spending more locally and we recirculate those dollars in the local economy, we all become stronger, wealthier, richer, better off because of it. So we have another episode we're about to record right now. I hope you follow us on that one. If this episode, the next one hasn't come out yet, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel or subscribe to us in iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify. And really the only way we are building this program is by asking you to do one main thing, which is to share this program with some of your friends. Share the program with your friends, because we are not big into social media. We don't have a big marketing budget, and we really think these voices of local Utah are critical to the discussion of how best we handle COVID and how best we preserve our local communities as we come out of this. All right, thank you for watching. The Utah Stories Show is produced in part by Connie Lewis, and the technical producer is Tyler Bond. Golda Markosian is our publisher. I thank all of them. You can visit utahstories.com and subscribe to our digital newsletter. That's a great way to get all of the information about what's going on in Utah that matters most. And until next time, I have one more sponsor to tell you about. The Utah Story Show is also brought to you by the Carpet Barn. Located in South Salt Lake is one of the coolest places you can go to buy a carpet. It's a family-run operation, 25,000 square feet of amazing, plush, excellent carpet, all at rock-bottom discount prices. They buy overstock and they buy off pattern carpet. I've never noticed what the flaw is in any of their off pattern carpet, but it is extremely high quality, awesome carpet for the lowest prices you'll find anywhere in Utah. Go visit them, tell them you found out about them from the Utah Stories Show. That'll be a huge favor to us, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.